I went there a few, like once or twice.
Oh, I didn't even know that they were a Massachusetts brewery.
Yeah, they're in Weymouth. They're down here.
Interesting.
That's probably why it's more available to me than it is up
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
that makes a
Is it
lot more
like
sense.
is it a nice spot or is it kind of like
I don't.
whatever?
All of the breweries down here, like, I feel like even Widowmaker is like you can see it from the highway, but it's in like an industrial park.
Oh, so like old school Maine back in the day.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I actually can't picture the brewery for Barrelhouse C right now though. But I mean, all of the ones up here are like in little like either like strip mall kind of things or
Yeah. I feel like they all, unless you're going to somewhere that like has a huge fucking spot, like a huge footprint. I feel like they're all very similar in sort of like,
at least how they start. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, so I was listening to Certified Lover Boy, which the first few songs are garbage, and I don't. I'm sure it gets better. I've heard that it's better than the Kanye album, which I also haven't listened to yet.
I actually
Mm,
really like the Kanye album right now. It's
yeah,
kind of
Kanye
growing
album's
on me.
kind of growing on me a little bit. I'm actually, I mean, aside from a bunch of shit with Kanye, I'm even kind of more aggravated right now because there was a cut song from the Kanye album that had Andre 3000 on it, and
Yeah,
Andre's
Drake
verse.
released it too.
Yeah, Drake released it because like Andre's verse on it is like a really good verse, and it's basically him talking to his own dead mother, and like it's a good verse. And then Kanye's verse on it is just a diss to Drake, so it's like this is a garbage. Like, what are you doing? Uh, like I guess I'm glad it got cut for that reason because like it was tonally two different songs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Andre probably would have been even more pissed off if like that's what came out. But yeah, the Kanye album's kind of grown on me. There's some good songs on there.
The thing I want to say about I texted Brendan last night. And I'm like, if this was a 10 to 12 track album, it
That's
could have
the
been
other
a
thing.
really fucking good album.
Yeah,
That's the other thing with Certified Lover Boy. I clicked on it to like start listening to it.
they're
And I was
both like
this
20
fucking album
plus.
is an hour and a half.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
they're like both
It's like-
20 plus songs.
Yeah. The first song has that weird Beatles sample that I'm so confused how they're using a Beatles sample.
Oh, there's a Beatles sample on the first song. I have to listen to it again.
In the first song of the Drake album, it's Michelle like altered and like slowed down and like I was like I don't understand what this is or how we got the rights to
Is
a
it
Beatles song.
is it like legit that sample though, or are they pretending that it's not a sample?
I don't know. No. It's I mean it's definitely a sample. I don't know if it's a sample of the Beatles or if it's a sample of a cover of the Beatles, but
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm a big
because
Drake
it's
fan. Like
Huh?
I've never really liked Drake, and I was like checked out this new album and it just confirmed that I just don't care about Drake.
Yeah.
I don't know. He has bangers every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like I think I would like Drake if I was in college and like we were listening to at parties a lot because I feel like that would be on all the
Yeah.
time probably, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm into Drake, you know,
He's-
like that's what probably get me into Drake.
He definitely feels like a radio artist. So anyways, I was listening to Drake. I don't know how this tangentially is not going to make any sense, but in 2005, 2006, do you remember an artist by the name of Papoose?
That's
No.
who clap you, baby. Papoose my guy.
So, do you remember forever we were waiting for Papoose's album to drop?
Not Nasarima Dream.
So just ready for this. I went on Apple Music today and searched for Papoose. Papoose has released an album every month of this year.
What? Oh,
He has
fuck.
released an album called each month of the year.
Shit. Oh, I know what I'm doing the rest of this week.
I just don't understand how we waited like 2 to 3 years for Papoose to release an album because he was like all over like underground rap, and now all of a sudden he's releasing an album once a month and nobody has any idea.
That's kind of ridiculous. So, Papoose also came up a second time, other than to this moment this week, because someone on Twitter had said something about I forget the context. This is something about Mike Jones, and
Who?
they said something about Mike Jones or whatever, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if like the Kendrick album that's supposed to come out this year had like a Mike Jones and Paul Wall verse on it, and then and then it went into me saying like, oh shit, like the last time I heard a Paul Wall song was him and Papoose on Riding Shotgun. Like it's the last time I think I've ever heard Paul Wall say anything. So yeah, Papoose popping up all week.
I feel like that decade of rap was so good.
I'm sure some people would disagree with us, but I agree with you.
What decade? What are the big names of that decade?
The 2000s. I mean, it was the time where G Unit was big, the Diplomats were big.
Yeah. I mean, it was like Eminem in like some would argue his prime, probably. Like, I mean, you got Kanye in arguably his prime.
His prime. Jay had come back.
Yeah, like Kingdom Come had come out, and Kingdom Come's kind of whatever, but like he was back making more music.
Yeah, his features were better than his albums. But...
Yeah.
I've said this before, but I don't know, man. Jay-Z does not hold up for me. I like Reasonable Doubt, yes. A couple other, like maybe one or two, like Black Album and Blueprint. But like, man, if he ruined Jail. I think that track is so good. And then like Jay's like really the only one who raps on that, and I'm like, this is fucking just not good.
It's not a terrible verse, but it's not a good verse.
It doesn't go.
The Kanye album.
Yeah, it's the second track.
Yeah,
it's the first track because it's really the first song.
I did listen to the first song.
Yeah,
on the album.
yes, yeah, because it's Jail is the first actual song. The first track on Donda is them chanting Donda for 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, but I appreciate that first. Once I found out what it's about, that first track, like, did you hear what it was about? Or it was his mom's heartbeat when she was dying. Donda,
oh, interesting.
Donda. And then it like stops and it goes like, I think when she was going into cardiac or when she was like whatever. So like once I realized that, because I made fun of that the first time I listened, I'm like, yo, first track is so good. And then I found out, and so like I definitely appreciate it. I'm not like I'm gonna listen to that track and be like, let's go.
Yeah, I can appreciate that meaning, but I'm never gonna listen to that track for any reason.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Like when I pressed play on the album for the first time in the car, like the first time listening to it, period, other than like checking out snippets of the live performances, the first time I pressed play on that album, Jen and I were driving, in like 30 seconds into that, I just looked at her and go, he's fucking lost his mind. Like he's lost his fucking mind.
Did I ever send you guys the TikTok of someone making fun of Jay-Z's part in Monster? Because it's like the funniest fucking thing ever. Because they go through, like, if you just listen to Jay-Z's lyrics in that song, it is like literally like one of the worst lyrics I've ever heard in a song. And it's so funny because I've got to dig up. I might be able to find that TikTok. I was dying laughing.
Listen,
someone just like,
I don't know. Like, Jay-Z does both. He has depth, and then he also does like, just fucking, he's good at rapping and he sounds good saying shit on a song. Like, I don't know. Jay-Z still.
Eminem murdered him on his own track.
Thanks, Nas.
Yeah. See, like Nas is someone that like I don't look back at his body of work and be like, I see like he had a couple albums where I'm like, yeah, that album wasn't it, but I wasn't like, ooh, for this like. I don't think lyrically he was like bad.
I think you're missing a few Nas albums in there, though.
Yeah, there's definitely some Nas albums that I just won't listen to ever again, probably for any reason. He has a ton of albums.
Yeah, no, I think.
I mean, Jay has albums like that too, but that I won't listen to really. But
on like a lot of his newer stuff, minus like the new album and like maybe the last like 3 albums.
Did you listen to his new album that came out this year? Because it's real fucking good.
It's really good. I thought the Kanye produced album was really good too.
Yeah. I don't know. If Kendrick also drops an album this year, it's a pretty crazy year for rap. It's a pretty year. He has a new song out where he has a verse, and like his verse alone in that song is really fucking good.
See, he's smart because he puts out like 10-track albums. Like his last album was 10 tracks. He waits a long time. He probably makes sure that album is as tight as can be, and that's why fucking Damn was so good. Like that. How long? I don't know how long in between albums that was, but it's been like probably 4 years since that album dropped, if not more.
I think his first and second album had a very small window. I don't think there was a big gap between Mad City, Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly. I think those came out pretty.
I forgot. I actually forgot about To Pimp a Butterfly too.
That's probably my least favorite of his like 4 main albums. I don't think it's a bad album. I just think like if I had to stack up all of his albums together, That one might be my least favorite. I like Good Kid, Mad City a lot.
It's so good. There's not like a bad track on that album.
Yeah, Kendrick, real good, real good. If Kendrick drops an album, it's gonna be the best album of the year for me. Right now, it's probably the Nas album still, but I don't know.
You got 8 Papoose albums to listen to.
That's true.
Yeah,
Papoose
right?
could easily sneak in there and become the number one. I feel like I'm missing another album that came out this year. Did J. Cole put out an album this year? Am I losing my mind? Maybe not. I don't fucking know. Why are we talking about this for this long? Anyways, welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about Papoose too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Sunday, Saturday, I don't even know what day it is. Joining us this weekend, this week, Sunday, is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Oh shit!
Huh? I clicked a button and I broke myself.
Yep.
Hey.
There he is. Yeah, is that how you're doing tonight? You're right over there? All right, Mike's on another plane of existence right now. Also joining us this evening is the V-Buck villain. You better watch out. He's spending all your V-Bucks out there. Mr. Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
Donda.
Are you gonna buy that bussin' emote?
I probably am, to be honest with you.
It's fucking guy. I don't care about it. Oh, it's actually a pretty good dance. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, right.
It's a pretty good. Like the problem is that I feel
catchy.
since I'm still
Super
running
good.
around with the Ariana Grande skin, it just looks really good with that skin.
There you go. That's how they get you. That's how they fucking get you, Mike.
Which emote are you guys talking about?
In the shop tonight, a new Cardi B song. Are you sure it's
Oh,
Cardi
shit.
B?
Yeah.
I would know.
It's called Up. I think the song's called Up.
I know. I think the song is called whatever the emote's called. Stuck. I don't know. It sounds more like apparently Nicki Minaj and Cardi B sound very similar to me, which I'm just now realizing how similar they sound because it sounds more like Nicki Minaj to me. But
Oh, you think? Oh, really? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. But yeah, it's called Stuck, I believe. Or at least that's what the emote's called. I don't know if that's what the song is called. But rounding us out this evening is the Fortnite father. Is that what I've been calling you? No, I've been calling you the Disney daddy. Why did I just call you the Fortnite father? Either way, it doesn't matter. Dominic Fortnite, how are you doing tonight? Fuck, Dominic Fortnite. What? That is right there in front of me. I'm not calling him that. What am I doing?
That was pretty good.
Fuck.
I'm pretty good. I just checked the Papoose albums. February has a EFO song on it, and
Shit.
And April has a Jim Jones song on it. So
Fuck. Well, I will say, in sort of sidestep in relation to that, the Drake album has Project Pat on it, and like I didn't look at the features, but like as it's just letting the CD play through, I like the song starts off with him, and it just sounds like how he always sounds on a 3-6 Mafia song. So I was like, I haven't heard fucking 3-6 Mafia in so long.
I know. What are they up to?
I don't fucking know. Apparently, just being on a Drake song.
They're gonna have. I'm gonna look it up right now, and they're gonna have 8 albums on this year.
Yeah.
They got their Grammy or their Oscar or whatever, and they said, "All right, we're done."
That was a while ago. Was that for a movie?
It was for a movie. That's why I couldn't remember if it was a Grammy or an Oscar.
Was it for like?
Was it?
Was it for like Hustle and Flow or something?
Yes, Hustle and Flow. That's what they got it for.
And I just checked. They haven't had an album since 2008, so we're caught up.
Sounds about right. Yeah, we're caught up. who is fuck. It wasn't E40. It wasn't 3-6. Who sang fucking? Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to remember the name of this song. Laffy Taffy. Was that E40?
Take that Laffy.
Yeah, that's the song.
I don't think it was any of them.
It definitely wasn't 3-6. I feel like that was around the same time that like 3-6 and E40 were what we were listening to.
D4L.
D4L. Yes, that is correct. Yes. Anyways, this is a fucking weird episode. Before we get into tonight's topics, a couple of housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something delicious, straight and fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. And if you're like me and you want something hot and fresh out of the oven to get your Sunday morning going, this morning I woke up, hopped on the internet, ordered myself a couple of hot chubbies fresh to my door, and let me tell you, there's not a better way to start your Sunday than a hot, fresh chubby waiting for you when you get out of bed. Anyways, check them out. Let them know. Pass the Controller sent you. This the PTC movie club for September is Dom's pick, and the movie is called I didn't write it down. Is it called Brother Bear?
Country
Nope.
Bear.
I wish it was Brother Bear. I wish.
Not.
Wait, what is Brother Bear? Is that something?
It's an animated film. It's not. It's the Disney
country
masterpiece. The Disney masterpiece. The Country Bears.
The Country Bears. Okay.
I wish Brenden watched that movie and wasted his time and just watched that whatever movie.
Yeah, hey,
Like,
it's
Brother Bear's pretty good.
guys. It was the last week of the month. You guys watch Brother Bear yet? No, we watched Country Bears though.
Brother Bear. Joaquin Phoenix, I believe, voiced one of the bears in Brother Bear.
I've never heard of that movie.
Yeah,
It is
like
a
small
2003
bear
animated
and,
film.
Oh, there's a sequel too. There's a sequel.
Yeah, I did not watch that one.
It's an American animated comedy. Oh, it is also a Walt Disney film.
What? Yeah, Brother Bear is an animated Disney film.
I don't fucking know about Brother Bear. I'm not on Brother Bear fucking TikTok. That's not on my FYP. That was a for a Todd joke. That was a TikTok joke.
No, I got it.
Oh, Mike's on that TikTok life now.
And I appreciated you could make the pull, but I wasn't going to reward you for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on TikTok. I don't know how that works still.
I did just watch the Fortnite emote. That's gonna be so annoying if Todd and Mike both buy it.
I mean, they're both gonna buy it, so like that's a given. They're both gonna buy it.
I don't even think I have to buy a V-Bucks, so it's like that's pretty much sold on.
Yeah, Todd's
Yeah,
like, oh, he's like, oh,
I still
new month, I already got 1,000 in the bank. Let's go.
I still have 1,900, I think, so I
Oh,
can
wow.
stand to burn through a few more.
You got all those Marvel skins in there right now. You buying any?
I kind of want to get the Daredevil one because I didn't get it last time and I was regretting it. And yeah, we'll see.
Well, something tells me that if you pass on Marvel skins now, in November, you'll probably have a chance again. And then probably in December, you'll have another chance. I just hope that they actually add Spider-Man in December. Because
What's the next Disney Plus show for Marvel?
well, November's Eternals. So I would imagine they would...
I doubt they'll do a skin for Eternals, though.
They'd probably, at the bare minimum, they will tie it in somehow. Maybe they'll do a trailer and then just bring the skins in.
So Marvel's doing November, December movies?
Yeah.
No, because
Isn't
December's not their movie.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man is Sony, technically.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised at this point still Spider-Man hasn't been in Fortnite. I hope that changes in December, because...
It's a... I was going to say it's a Sony thing, but I don't know how the video game rights work still.
It's not... I think it goes through Marvel, because, like, Mike and I were talking about this. Ultimate Alliance is on Nintendo.
And he's in that.
Yeah, so, like, I think it's
no.
just a...
Is Peter in that?
I don't know if it's Peter or not.
I know Miles is in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so is Gwen. Yeah, there's, like, 3 Spider
They're all in it.
characters.
They're
Yeah,
all in it. Yep.
yeah. And I think Venom is also in it. I don't know if Carnage is, but...
Just Venom.
But, yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to that type of stuff... I think it all just goes through a division of Marvel. So
Venom's in Fortnite.
That's true. Venom is in Fortnite. So yeah, I mean, I would love if they finally brought Spooderman in there. I mean, when Into the Spider-Verse 2 comes out, if they want to just drop a bunch of fucking dope like Spider-Verse skins in there, I would probably buy all of those. I would definitely buy fucking Nicolas Cage's fucking Spider Noir or whatever. Is that what he's called?
That one, Mike.
Spider
This is,
Noir.
probably
Spider-
this is probably a really dumb
I think it's
question.
Spider-Man Noir, but yeah.
But is Gwen Stacy supposed to be Spider-Gwen in the comics, or is that...
It's a different multiverse Gwen Stacy,
I
but
think
yes.
Todd's question
It
is... Oh, okay. I
That
was
was my
thinking you were
question, yeah.
asking whether or not people are actually calling her Spider-Gwen, because I think that's really bad to out her identity as Gwen.
Oh, her name is Ghost Spider.
Okay.
Oh, they call her Ghost Spider in the comics?
They changed it at some point.
Oh man, if they bring in Ghost Spider and it's actually played by what's her name?
Emma Stone.
That'd be fucking amazing.
I mean,
it would be. There was a rumor at some point that she was seen with everybody, but
yeah.
I really doubt that. I don't know. I feel like we're already getting too much, and we're already expecting too much.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with.
So disappointed. Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna be disappointed. I guess I'm just sort of confused as to what the plot of that movie is actually gonna be because.
Go as much into the movie as you can. That's
the
plot.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that.
Considering
I
how
don't know.
Spider-Man, people view Spider-Man 3 too, like I feel like they're treading like a fine line right now with this one.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I think the thing that makes it easier for them to throw all that type of shit into this type of movie is that like, because of the long ties and how much has been built up with the MCU and like how multiverse has already started to like become a more common thing in the MCU. I feel like it's not like out of question for all that shit to just fucking happen all at once.
I guess my problem, which I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, is that they're going to introduce the multiverse, and then they're going to introduce us to characters that the four of us know and people that have watched comic book movies know, but MCU fans haven't necessarily watched all the Sony movies.
Yeah.
So when Jamie Foxx's Electro shows up, like, are you going to introduce him, or are you just going to assume that everybody knows who he is?
Yeah. I mean, if they really are,
that's a lot of introductions to do if they're going to start doing that stuff.
If they're
the other problem I was going to say too is that with a lot of people bitch about Tom Holland's Spider-Man because like he's Iron Man Jr. and everything. So now you're going to throw all these characters in. Are you going to get any development of Tom Holland's Spider-Man? If you're throwing that much shit into this movie, there's a lot of
I imagine it's going to be very much like Into the Spider-Verse, where Peter learns from Peter, or Miles learns from Peter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be bad. There's a lot going on, and I guess I'm just more curious to see how it all ends up playing out because
I honestly think that trailer we saw, I honestly think 90% of that's fake and not even real. I think
how
like it's probably not, those scenes aren't even part of the movie. It's just going to be like a bait and switch. We're gonna go into this movie.
I think that there's some doctored stuff there, but I don't necessarily think it might be like bait and switch. I think it's more of like when Doc Ock pops out and he says hello Peter and it cuts to Tom Holland. He's probably not talking to Tom Holland. He's probably talking to Toby.
I sent you guys the thing that Tom Holland is wearing the Tobey Maguire suit from Spider-Man 2.
Oh, is he?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we could go down. I feel like we could go down this rabbit hole, and that would be the whole episode, which we can do.
Yeah.
But
I just want to. I can leave it at. I am already sad. Like, I'm already satisfied with the movie in the fact that we got, what's his face saying hello, Peter.
Yeah. Same. 100%.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. I think really, if anything, this, besides the fact just trying to be fan service and like, a cool thing that like you really, it can happen one time and then it does what it does for the one time it happens. This could also give Sony the potential to like sort of try to like maybe make it so that they can tie Venom in the future into the MCU, or at the bare minimum just try to like also flesh out the non-MCU Spider-Man movie universe so that people care and like want to see the next, I don't know, whatever fucking movie that isn't tied to the MCU directly. Who the fuck knows?
Morbius.
Yeah, there you go.
Morbius, which has ties to the MCU. I don't.
Oh,
is that what you're gonna say, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Vulture's in the trailer.
Weird. I mean, I guess at this point with them like going this hard with the multiverse across the shows and movies,
I suppose it could be a multiverse.
They can really just do whatever the fuck they want and explain it away that way.
Yep.
So, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. So, I had seen Mike on set. I don't know why I'm like I don't sleep at all anymore. I'm up early all the time now, so I'm like days just all become the same to me. But I had seen Mike yesterday, and
Saturday.
yes, and Mike dropped some like scarily accurate knowledge about Animal Crossing that I was confused as to how he knew, because it seemed to me that some of the things he said would have been he plays Animal Crossing. But I don't think Mike actually plays Animal Crossing. So I wanted to start a new segment. We'll roll in from time to time. I don't know if it'll be every week. But what I'm thinking is we're gonna go honor system here. I don't think Mike's gonna cheat.
Terrible. That
is horrifying. We're gonna do honor system here. I don't think Mike's gonna be someone that's gonna Google things. Baja Punch.
Baja Punch.
I haven't seen that. Where I'm gonna mention an Animal Crossing character, and Mike's gonna tell me what he thinks that person is or does. Will they always be an NPC that has a role? Maybe not. I don't know. So, Mike.
Yeah.
What does Daisy May do?
What kind of animal first? What kind of
what kind of animal is Daisy May?
I want to say some sort of farm animal.
I mean,
which doesn't narrow it down too much, but like I'm feeling like either a sheep or a cow.
You're not far off, but you are wrong. I'll give you a third if you want to keep going. I don't think this animal is typically. If you get like a similar animal, I'll give it to you. I don't think the specific animal is typically considered a farm animal. It's probably more of a wild animal.
Okay. But it's a quadruped?
Yes.
Huh. Let's see. So I would.
This is one of the few animal types in the game, like that in real life, people would potentially hunt.
Oh, so then maybe I would
like with weapons and stuff. I'm just like staring at Mike's picture.
I'm confused how people would hunt animals without weapons. Now I'm just confused.
With their bare hands, like in fucking Pokemon Arceus. You know, you just hang out in the grass and you're just like, there you are, Squirtle. Catch these hands. Bap, bap.
Mike, you gotta drop that filter. It's too much. It's too much.
What does Daisy say in the game? Well, you gotta pay your taxes. I don't know.
She needs to wipe her nose 90% of the time. That's a clue.
That is a clue. It's not gonna help. It's not that clue will not help you. It is a trait of the character, but that clue will not help you, Mike. So you got a final guess on the animal type?
I said fox several times.
Oh, I didn't hear you because you were dancing as Isabel. No, Daisy May is a boar.
A boar.
So if you had said pig, or I would have given it to you.
Gotcha.
So what do you think Daisy May... Do you think Daisy May is an NPC, or is someone that... Well, they're all NPCs, but do you think Daisy May is someone that has a specific thing they do, or is it just a villager?
I want to say she gives you clothes.
So, okay, so you are correct in that she is someone that has a role or a job, but no, Daisy May is not not a seamstress, not a clothes person. Do you have another guess, or you want to be revealed?
Let's go with, let's see, maybe she.
I'll give you another hint, Mike. You were a little bit close with like your attempt at tying this character potentially to a farm for some reason.
Yes.
So there's like a similar there's some connection there with farm.
There's a farm connection to her job description.
Potentially, in a roundabout way.
Very roundabout way. This is gonna be great when you finally tell me, like, yeah, she sells shingles that you sometimes use on a farm's roof.
She sells seashells.
By the seashore? Is that where you find?
While we're on this topic too, can you believe that they still fucking haven't updated this game?
Fuck up, Todd.
This segment is.
Final guess, Mike. You think Daisy May, the boar?
Okay, she sells you chicken feed.
No, that would be very concerning if you fed like chicken people chicken feed.
It'd be concerning if a boar sold chicken feed to what I believe is a human. I don't know what the Animal Crossing
Yes.
main person.
It would be kind of bizarre. Anyways, Mike, Daisy May is the turnip salesman.
Oh.
So
Imagine having your entire business run on turnips.
well, do you? This should be a layup. I feel like you probably know the answer. Do you know what turnips do in the game?
I know there's a stock market involved.
They're the stock market, Mike. STALK. That's what it is. It's the stock market.
Yeah, I know.
So Daisy May
Like
shows
stalking, like you stalk someone.
Exactly, but not really. But yes. So
Far too often I saw people saying like, "Oh, what's your turnips worth today or whatever?" They're like, "Oh, it's this." Like, "Oh, can I come to your island and sell my?"
I want to get some bowls.
So
buy some more beetles.
I wanna
Mr.
buy
Rosetta
some more-
pissed because I turned my game off without saving.
I want to buy more items in the shop that are the same fucking items.
oh my
every
god,
day.
Todd's ridiculous. Mike, so Daisy May shows up every Sunday, and from a certain window of time, you are able to buy turnips from her from a fixed price that changes for you every week. So you want to try to buy low and sell high, but it's a stock market; you can't predict it. So you can
And they
buy,
die.
and they do. They only last a week. They go bad. So you have to sell them before the next Sunday. So that's how the stock market works. That's what Daisy May does. And everyone, this has been, I don't know, I'll come up with a clever name if we do this again. This is
You'll
I
come
don't
up
know.
with a name for sure. Clever is asking a bit too much from me.
This is Mike guessing Animal Crossing characters. Fucking nailed it.
There it is. There it is.
So this is
That was clever.
yeah, it was super clever. So speaking of Animal Crossing and speaking of Nintendo, we are kind of in a weird renaissance for Nintendo titles in the last couple of years. If you look at like what Nintendo,
What the fuck is that? Mike?
that's freaking me the fuck. It is supposed to be.
supposed to be KK.
Yeah, it's supposed to be KK's lighter, but it's spazzing out with Mike's body or something.
It's KK juiced out.
Yeah, he's been playing the guitar nonstop for fucking hours. So if you look at what Nintendo's been kind of coasting off of, or not coasting, but obviously,
Coasting's a good word.
shut the fuck up, Todd. So you have always the titles like Mario, Zelda, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, all those things. Then you kind of look at the last few years, the new wing of what Nintendo's been building out with Splatoon, with Animal Crossing, with ARMS. Well, specifically with like Splatoon's a little bit different because it's a new IP, but like Animal Crossing's been around for a while. Fire Emblem have been around for a while, but both of those series have kind of ballooned for Nintendo and have become arguably bigger core franchises for them. They get a lot of titles in the series. They get more games made in the series. They're pulling their weight with sales and stuff, and those fandoms are continuing to grow. You look back at this year, and this year alone, we have a remake of Famicom Detective Club. We have a new WarioWare game. We have Advance Wars getting remastered coming out later this year. And they just this week revealed that we're also getting a new Big Brain Academy game this year. So, like, do I think Nintendo's hoping that all these games... I mean, obviously everyone hopes... They hope every fucking game sells $1 million, but... 1 million copies or whatever, billions of copies. That is very freaky, Mike.
I know, right?
That's like very realistic. Oh my god, Mike.
Yo,
Peculiar.
Mike, what are you doing later?
Mike's playing with filters for audio listeners, and he put on a female looking filter over his face, and it is like tracking his face very, very well.
Okay, super well. I don't know what it's doing to my hair right now, but I'm feeling
It's just giving you. It's like giving you curls.
Yeah,
a little more curls.
Mike, it's this bizarre. It's wacky. I mean,
Mike,
you're
you know
killing
what
it.
Carmen Sandiego is?
I
Because you
do
look like
kind
one
of
of the
look like-
you look like one of the characters from Carmen Sandiego.
I can see it.
Jesus, Mike. So you look at, and then we haven't had a lot of Metroid lately. People want Metroid, and we're getting Metroid Dread this year. So it seems like Nintendo is more confidently digging into their deeper. Not that Metroid's a super big pull. Like that's not. I think people in Nintendo I think Nintendo fans would argue that pulling a Metroid game out is not like a deep cut, but all that other stuff I would argue is a lot deeper than what Nintendo typically leans on in a single year. So with that being said, and all those titles kind of coming out, what and then they're digging back into sports games, which I feel like for a while we kind of got a pause on sports games. We got tennis already on the Switch. We just got golf this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another sports game within a year or two. So they're definitely digging into the the trenches here, looking for other titles, digging into the library, digging through the crates. Are there other games or franchises or series that you guys would get pumped or hope they decide to kind of revisit next? Some of them don't have to be that obscure. I mean, they can be things like F-Zero that they're just,
I want a first-person F-Zero game.
Like a first...
Where you're Captain Falcon and you're hunting bounties.
I mean, that would be kind of fucking dope.
But also, you still race.
Yeah, but there's still a racing element to it, yeah.
Yeah. Driving those cars that fast in first person...
It's a Fast and the Furious game, but it takes place like with the F-Zero characters.
There it is. There's a winning formula.
I was on board with the first pitch. I don't know if I like the Fast and the Furious pitch.
In fact, we could make an F-Zero movie, but it's basically like the first Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
Where Brian is basically Captain Falcon going undercover, and then Vin Diesel is Blood Falcon? I don't know. I'll work it out later.
I'm on like a not anti-Nintendo. This last year, there's been minus Monster Hunter Rise. It's been like I haven't really touched my fucking Switch at all.
Yeah, I mean,
busy playing Fortnite with us on Xbox.
Yeah,
like,
that's only been the last month.
We can play on Switch if you want.
No, yeah, no. There's nothing really. I would rather than them digging in the well, I'd rather get better support for some of the games that are out there right now. That's pretty much the only thing I would ask for them.
Yeah, well, that's not the hypothetical trip we're going down.
Yeah, no, I know.
So there's nothing from them that you're not already getting that you wouldn't want them to revisit. You wouldn't want a new side-scrolling Donkey Kong game because we haven't seen a new game.
I would take a new Donkey Kong game, but I don't need it to be like changed or just make it like fucking Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think WarioWare is changing the game. I think they're just making a new WarioWare game. I don't think that. I mean, literally, Famicom Detective Club was a remake. Advance Wars is a remake. They're not changing the game. They're just bringing these franchises back.
I would say all these franchises would normally fail, but I just think because the user base is so high with Nintendo right now that these games are going to probably come out and do numbers.
Oh, and that's why I think you're seeing Nintendo being able to, like, you have like Breath of the Wild, arguably one of if not the best game ever made. Smash is one of if not the best selling fighting game of all time. Mario Kart 8 continuing to sell incredibly well. Odyssey, big numbers. Animal Crossing, insane numbers. Fire Emblem Three Houses did very, very well. I don't know if it did like crazy bonkers numbers, but it did very well. So like they're, Splatoon does solid for them. Their like main core stuff is doing very well. Yeah, ARMS. Again, ARMS was a success for Nintendo sales-wise, like based on their projections. So like they are seeing success.
They put out ARMS and like no one's gonna fucking buy this game, and then like 3 people bought the game and they said, all right, this is
if you expect $0, then.
But ARMS is a good example though, because on the Wii U, ARMS probably would have sold very poorly, but the Switch. It was also basically a launch title for the Switch too, so that gives a benefit. Yeah, that's definitely an added benefit for that game releasing at that time.
We need a Star Wolf game too.
I mean, just a Star Fox game in general, I think would be.
What we need is more. What was Slippy's uncle's name called?
Grippy Toad.
We need some more Grippy Toad.
What would you want from a Star Wolf game, Dom?
I don't know, something different.
Keep in mind, they have done things different with Star Fox before, multiple times, and it usually does not get met with great reception.
Grippy Toad.
Oh, Grippy Toad is fantastic. I don't think you're gonna find anyone complaining about Grippy Toad.
You know what they could do? I got 2 things: an Excite Bike, but more like Trials. and they could
Bang.
fucking totally turn that around and like make that something big.
Oh yeah.
And then what was the other fucking thing?
The thing. Add
I gotta
some
Google
more
this.
content to Animal Crossing.
Oh, Kid Icarus. Because I really enjoyed that game. I thought the controls were fucking garbage. But if they can make a new game with better controls and everything, then I mean, I would love.
I
dive into that
mean,
again.
Kid Icarus.
And the multiplayer was dope.
Yeah,
on that too.
Kid Icarus is another one where like if they just wanted to like fix up and port Uprising from the 3DS, it would sell very well.
Yeah.
So like yeah.
How about a Balloon Fighter Battle Royale?
I would fucking play the shit out of that.
That'd actually be kind of sick.
I just like Balloon Fight, so like throw a new take in there too. Sign me up. A couple for
would it
me.
Be 3D or would it be like an entirely 2D affair?
Oh, an entirely side-scrolling 2D. It's just there's 100 people, but the fucking map is enormous.
And when you die, you turn into a fish that can jump up and get people that are coming too low. Fuck, I'd play the shit out of this game. This would be a good time. I mean,
yeah, because then when there's only 2 people left, there's fucking 98 fish. Like
that's what I'm saying. So you can't like stay too low. You have to like stay up higher. That's like their version of the storm, kind of. Yeah. Also, I mean, Tetris 99 is a great take on Battle Royale. They could do something funky with like something and make a fun little Nintendo Online only.
It's right there.
There you go, Nintendo.
Do it up.
I know they listen. So, for me, I would love to see a new custom Robo game. I loved that game on the GameCube. The game was like, I feel like no one knows about that game, and that game is real fucking cool. I would eat that up.
What game is it?
Custom Robo. It was like a
TT Robo game, is it? No, that's different.
No. I also have a soft spot for Chibi Robo, and I would play a new one if that came out. But Custom Robo was like, it was. I'm pretty sure it also had 4-player multiplayer, but it was like an arena fighting game where you're in like mechs, and it's you can customize your robots. So you can have like different guns and like armor pieces and like boosters and all that stuff. Like it was a fun game. I had a fucking blast with that game. I would absolutely play the shit out of that if they made a new one. I brought this up. I don't know if I brought this up on another show or it might have just been in a Discord call with some other people, but I'm actually surprised that this hasn't already happened, especially with like what you're looking at, what's Nintendo's putting out this year. They should be making a new Game & Watch game. Like they should be making a Game & Watch gallery that's just like a bunch of like retooled or new versions of or just new Game & Watch style little mini games, and like either put out a big collection like that or just fucking put them on Nintendo Online. Because I had they were called Game & Watch Gallery, and they had a couple of different versions of it for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and I have them. I still have them because I played a shit ton of them. They're just Game & Watch games. They're just simple little games, but they're just addicting and fun, and you know, you're chasing high scores. And I feel like, you know, you could add like, you know, online friend leaderboards and stuff and little things like that just to kind of give it a little bit more juice. But I would just play that if they just made modern versions that played well. I would play the shit out of that.
Has this year been considered a good year for games for the Switch? Do people consider this, or like?
I mean, I do. I mean, I think some people do. You got Bowser's, you got Cat Mario and Bowser's Fury in the beginning of the year.
Well, I mean, like take away like the remakes.
Yeah, but why are you taking away the remakes?
I mean, I don't know, because I feel like I'm curious how Skyward Sword did. I saw people bitching and complaining about it.
That's a remake.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, but it's like it's one of those ones where even for a remake, I feel like people weren't happy with the controls on it.
No, I think it got reviewed pretty well for the changes they made. But I mean, you got Monster Hunter Rise, you got Monster Hunter Stories 2, you got Persona 5 Strikers, you got No More Heroes 3. You have the other stuff I mentioned that's coming out soon. Like I think WarioWare is coming out this week. And I'm sure there's probably going to be one or two other things that end up dropping. I mean, you have some stuff that's coming out on multiple platforms like Sonic Colors. You have the new Monkey Ball game, which I fucking love Monkey Ball. I mean, you got Golf, which Golf is a fucking great game. Like I had a great time with Golf. is it a Zelda year? Is it a Mario year? No, but I think they still have some solid stuff. I mean, throw that same argument across the board. I mean, I feel like there hasn't been a lot of exclusive Xbox stuff that's been getting me pumped up.
Bro, there hasn't been a good amount of exclusive Xbox games in fucking like 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, you kind of throw it across the board. I mean, I personally like. I finally got a PS5. The only thing that I have played is Astrobot, which I absolutely adored. But like, I've downloaded Returnal. I haven't actually played it. I downloaded Ratchet and Clank. I haven't actually played it. And outside of that, with Horizon getting delayed, the only other thing PlayStation really has, I think, of note coming out. Well, I guess Deathloop too. Deathloop and Kenna and the Bridge of Spirits for like exclusive stuff. I mean, obviously there's stuff that's coming out across multiple places that'll probably be good. I mean, and Xbox also has Halo and fucking Forza coming out this year, so there's
honestly
some stuff.
this year I think I've played more either remakes of my favorite games or just revisited my favorite games.
Bro, you have played the most Fortnite this year, probably of anything.
No way. Oh wait, no, I probably played Monster Hunter Rise quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I keep on going back to like old games this year. Maybe that says something about this year. I don't know. There hasn't been a lot out that I've been super interested into.
I mean, you put a lot of time into Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I did. I still want to go back to it. It's just fucking.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a fine year. I've enjoyed a lot of what I played this year. I played a lot of indies. I don't know why I'm blanking right now on some stuff, but I mean, I feel like 12 minutes probably would have been a bigger conversation piece if it wasn't what it was. But to get back at the, what were you gonna say, Dom?
I was gonna bring it back to the conversation that we were having because we didn't bring up Mother or Golden Sun.
Yes, those are two big ones. I mean, I'd love to see a new Mother Earthbound game. I know a lot of people would just like to see Mother 3 get ported, which is also fine.
I would like a port of all of them, but I would also appreciate a new game. So
if they were going to make a new game in the series, I feel like they would probably make the first 3 available in some way. Whether it's I don't know if any of them are on Nintendo's online. I don't know if they're in there. I don't think they are.
I want to say Earthbound may have been on the Wii.
The Wii U had Earthbound and Earthbound Beginning, so they had Mother and Mother 2. But I'm trying to think if the Nintendo Switch Online has Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. I don't think it does. So I wouldn't be shocked if we ever got the 3rd game or if we got a 4th game, they would probably make the others available on the Switch because there'd probably be people that have never played them that would want to maybe check them out first.
Oh, I got one more thing too. I would like a Pokemon game made by someone else than Game Freak in the Nintendo wheelhouse, like someone like from because Game's not technically part of Nintendo, correct? It's just owned by Nintendo.
It's
owned by 3 people.
The Pokemon Company is Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Pokemon done by someone in the wheelhouse of Nintendo. That that works on some of their main games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
see that happening.
Yeah, I also like.
That's why Dokkan V. I'm telling you, man, that is like my most anticipated game right now, hands down. I am like, I need that game now. I feel like it's never gonna come out too.
Yeah, I don't know. I your opinion on Pokemon is like kind of all over the place for me.
It's not. I just don't think they're that great of games. The most recent ones, at least.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, like there are some very good Pokemon games. Like is Sword and Shield one of them?
Oh no,
probably not. But like
they are. But I'm saying that's like a series that I feel like has not adapted with the times. It hasn't done anything like really to like take it to the next step. It's kind of like we're just gonna play it safe every fucking time.
It's just playing its own formula.
Yeah.
And I hate the answer is it's a kid's game or, it works. It sells millions of copies. I know that.
But that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying like everyone always says.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things at play here, Todd. Like you went into that being that's your first Pokemon game. I get it, but also at the same time, it's like they do have a formula, and like they are probably never going to stray too far from that. Like, will we? Arceus
seems like
it's straying from it a lot, but we don't know what that game will actually end up being. Like, we have no idea how that's going to actually, kind of shape up to be. But yeah, I mean, Pokemon's gonna do what Pokemon's doing. I mean, Pokemon is a hard thing to really change. Because here's the thing, Todd. They do make a lot of other games with Pokemon that are not mainline Pokemon games. Like, they make dungeon crawlers, like the Mystery Dungeon series. They make Pokemon Conquest, which Pokemon Pinball. They like Conquest, I believe, is like a tactical RPG, like Fire Emblem. Like they do play around with different types of games within Pokemon. It's just
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
What's that other new mobile game?
Well, Pokemon Unite, which is not made by Nintendo, it's made by Tencent, is a MOBA, or like a MOBA Lite.
Yep.
And that game's really fun. But like that's just playing with a different game formula. They're not really like arguably changing what MOBAs are. They're kind of just making a Pokemon MOBA. I mean, Pokemon Snap came out this year. It's another game. I mean, they do play around with that, but I mean, for the mainline RPGs, like, yes, I do want to see some things change in there, but it's not giving them an out for me. Like, I'm not saying this to give them an out. I'm just saying, like, I am not necessarily ever anticipating them making big, broad stroke, major changes to the franchise. I just don't ever see that being the case, simply because, like, this is a Mickey Mouse thing. This is like, it is such a wide appeal, such a young appeal thing that, like, are we ever going to get like a bigger, more, engrossing RPG with like deep RPG mechanics? I would love that. I was hoping that they were going that route.
I don't even think that's the part of the problem that I have for it. My problem with like Sword and Shield was that, you're supposed to go to all these different towns, and then you go to these towns and they're just like lifeless towns. Like, I never felt like I was like combat was fine with me. It was pretty simple, but for the most part, but like I felt like the game itself was so bland. And I don't know if that's how all Pokemon's like, you couldn't really interact with anything in the town. You go to like the whatever it's called, where you like heal your Pokemon. Every fucking thing looked exactly the same in every town. Like, it was just cut and paste, except the town might look a little different, or the next Pokemon gym you go to. I found it very like, I just don't get it. I get like people who played it when they were younger. I understand that completely, but for those people, I would be like, I would expect more from them at this point. Like that was really weird to me. That was and I'm not expecting some crazy good story from Pokemon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, the stories usually are pretty good. I haven't played the last couple, so.
Yeah, like when I forget who we had on when they told me the story about like
Black and White.
Yeah, that sounded amazing.
Really, yeah, Black 2 and White 2 were pretty good.
And it's just so weird to me.
Even the Red, Blue, Yellow story was good. I mean, it was pretty basic, but it was good.
Are all the other Pokemons, like, are all the towns exactly this, like the way Sword and Shield was? Are they all like lifeless towns that you really can't do anything in?
I mean, the
Pokemon centers are generally cut and paste.
Yeah, I mean, they're just JRPG towns. Like, they're not like, you're not like I don't know. What I think the reality is, like, does Pokemon have things it needs to change and grow and build? Absolutely. But I think the reality is like, Todd, you probably should never buy another Pokemon game. Like, Pokemon is just not for you. Because I think.
Well, I guess the way I want to describe it is Pokemon is its own thing. Like, it's going to play by its own mechanics the way that it does throughout its games. It's the same as like buying Monopoly and expecting that Monopoly is going to do something that Monopoly doesn't do. Like, if you buy it like any Monopoly, you're playing Monopoly. Like, if you buy Pokemon, you're playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
So if it's
like this is the only game that doesn't adapt, though. There's like a lot of long-standing franchises that like adapt after a while and kind of switch things up. Not drastically, but like switch stuff up.
The main mechanic stays the same.
Yeah, I mean,
the RPG part of it is not. I don't have any issues with like the combat aspects of that game. I don't think they need to. I mean, I think they could even do something like what Final Fantasy VII did. I don't necessarily think that's what I would want, but I think they could do like what the remake did, and do something like that for Pokemon, where it's RPG mixed with you're kind of interacting in the fighting, and doing stuff like that. But I mean,
the trainers fighting, that's not going to happen.
No, not trainers. Like
like you control a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but then it wouldn't be a Pokemon game. Like, it wouldn't be an RPG.
It wouldn't be a turn-based.
Yeah, you could go play. You could go play.
Remake not considered that not considered an RPG at this point? Then the remake.
I mean, it's not a turn-based RPG, or not the same. It's like a little bit more real time, where you could do that with Pokemon. But like, I think if you, I think if you changed core Pokemon to be like that, you would. It's Final Fantasy is not Pokemon. Nothing is Pokemon. That's the problem. That's the gift and the curse of Pokemon. It is a way overblown, too successful franchise that like. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't change things. Like you're kind of just, and they're probably honestly a little bit of a, like you look at something like Mario. Mario appeals to young audience. Mario appeals to older people. Like Mario appeals to everyone, like Pokemon does. But the gameplay of Mario is a much more simplistic thing where you can play around with that. You can add Cappy. You can add Flood in Sunshine. You can like do things. And like, obviously Mario has 8 million spin-offs, but the core gameplay of Mario is very pedestrian, where I feel like most people, regardless of your level of how much you game or have never gamed, could pick up Mario and probably have fun, where I don't think that's the case with Pokemon. And
you could... No, Pokemon has a base. You can play Pokemon at its core game and not get into any of the RPG stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for sure. But so I guess the thing I'm trying to say is like Mario is one of those other few exceptions where the fan base of Mario, younger audience, always still continue to discover Mario, but the older audience doesn't leave, or maybe it does, but it still keeps older audiences. Pokemon is doing that same thing where the audience continues to be young. So like, I just, it's when they did the
where does the audience come from though? Because like I feel like minus the games, what media out there is like what? Like,
it's had an anime for fucking over 20 years. Like it has a TV show.
Is that still going on
the air?
Yes.
See, like, but I don't know where I would even find that on TV. Like, where would I find that?
I don't know. If Liam wanted to watch it, he'd find it somewhere.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
all the older stuff.
Yeah, the old stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how kids. I feel like the only way kids know are from their parents.
It's the same.
Because I see all this marketing stuff, and I'm watching like all these commercials. I never see Pokemon shit ever in these commercials. So
yeah, but
I don't know what.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know what channel has it now.
Yeah, but
it's so weird.
I mean, the commercials are gauged based on what you're watching. If you're like, you're not going to see a Pokemon commercial on like necessarily like Comedy Central or something, but you're going to see it if you're watching.
I'm talking about watching with Liam stuff, like on like the kids, like the Cartoon Network and shit like that. Like I don't see it on that ever.
Yeah, but
I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, Todd, it exists. I mean, they do collaborations with Burger King and McDonald's. That's how they appeal to kids. Pokemon cards are still as big as ever, like trading card game. Like all this stuff exists. They have toys in the stores.
Getting those are adults, so that's the thing. Like,
no, that's the thing is
it's like...
I don't know. I don't know what kids you're hanging around with, but sure. Like besides your own kids.
No, I'm just saying though. Like I just don't know. I'm not saying like what I'm saying is right or wrong. I'm just curious.
It's the same way that
it's maintaining through the younger generation.
I mean, that's the same thing with Mario. How does a kid know about Mario? Even has less of that because it doesn't have a TV show. It doesn't have trading cards.
I think Mario's more user friendly to kids.
Yeah, but how does a kid? But what you're saying is, how does a kid discover Pokemon? How does a kid discover Mario?
Because it's the Nintendo game. It's like if you get a Nintendo, the first game you're getting for your kid is a Mario.
Sure, but what if they don't have video games, but they are asking for video games? What are they asking for? They're probably asking for Fortnite. Honestly, they're not asking for Mario.
Yeah, probably at this point.
Yeah, so like, how are they discovering Mario? It's the same fucking thing. I don't fucking know. They market to kids in specific ways. They put them in Happy Meals. They fucking.
No! You know what though? I will say about Mario, dude. Mario toys are fucking insane now. Like they come like. These toys never existed until like these last like 10 years, but the amount of Mario new stuff that comes out on a weekly, monthly basis, I've never seen anything like. They finally realized how successful those toys can be, I think, because I go to Target and they're sold out every fucking time I go into Target.
Oh, yeah, no.
The Mario section is just cleaned out like every time.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's also a bigger problem with toys right now, but that's a conversation for a different. That's also the reason that Pokemon cards are crazy. Pokemon, the animated series, is on Netflix. That's where you get the new episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I didn't even know that.
The other thing I was gonna say is user-controlled Pokemon was that Wii U game, but I don't remember the name of it. The one that got ported for the Switch.
Oh,
The fighting game, Pokken Tournament.
Pokken.
Yeah.
That's where you play as a Pokemon fighting other Pokemon.
Yeah.
They've experimented with
Could they transition that
most
to
of what you can think of.
Would that work in because I never played Pokken, could they transition that to a Pokemon game where you add RPG element? I don't know how Pokken works.
I mean, it's the structure of Pokemon is if part of the structure of Pokemon is that you are fighting other trainers. I don't know. Yeah, you could get into the fight and then it could switch perspectives and you can do that. And they could always do that. But that's not a change I see them making. I don't think
it would be a very different game.
Yeah, it would be a different game. I think the departure would not be what they try to do. They would make that a spin-off game of some sort. I think there are definitely things they could do to enhance what core Pokemon is. And I hope they are seeing the response and feedback that's out there and they, take the things they want to take and make some of those changes going forward.
I think they are seeing the feedback because that's what whatever the fuck it's called, the new one.
I don't know. I always thought it was Arceus. Apparently it's Arceus, or it's apparently no one knows how to pronounce it because they've never said the word out loud. So
I don't know. I'm just gonna keep saying Arceus.
So am I.
I feel like that's a direct result of people bitching and moaning that they wanted something like that. That game probably wasn't hey, we're gonna make this game, but they, everyone bitching and moaning about the wild land and everything.
I don't think so. Simply because games don't just snap your fingers and get made, and this game's coming out in January. That means it's been being made for years now. It was probably started development around, if not at the same time as Sword and Shield.
But I think once the Switch was announced, people were expecting this game. So I think they've probably been working on this based on user feedback.
I think that Sword and Shield is probably not as big of a departure from what Pokemon could be growing into a full-fledged console, simply because that game was probably being made in a weird time. It was probably being made where maybe the 3DS wasn't getting shelved. Maybe that was going to be a 3DS game. Maybe it was going to be on both. I'm sure there are some reasons why certain things happen. Also, the Switch is not super powerful, which I also... Nintendo is very good with their games of making their hardware work really well for their games. Breath of the Wild shouldn't be able to do some of the things it can do on the Switch.
That's why I get so frustrated with a lot of Nintendo games, though, because I'm damn, you did such a good job with how the breath. Even going back to fucking the boat one. Why am I blanking?
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Yeah, that was fucking gorgeous, and now I'm playing games on my Switch and I feel like they look grainy half the time. It's just. It's so I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna notice it more as you get deeper into PS5, Xbox Series X era, because those games are gonna get crispier and cleaner, and Switch is gonna still be what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm. God damn it, Todd, always pulling us on these fucking Pokemon tangents.
I did just notice that you brought up a Nintendo topic for today, and then I just looked at mine, yours, and Mike's shirts.
And we're all wearing Nintendo shirts.
We're all wearing Nintendo shirts.
I just put this shirt on tonight for the show. I'm not even with a hidden agenda.
Weird.
That's interesting. Mike, anything for you that you'd want to see Nintendo Resurrect that would get you fucking amped up?
Let's see. What can I say that's not entirely a joke?
Space Jam, but with NES graphics and
yeah, what if they made a Space Jam side scroller beat 'em up using instead of Michael Jordan, I don't know, LeBron James. I don't know, but just off the top of my head, I don't know. It's crazy, right?
This is not a Nintendo game, but it was on a Nintendo system. I want
Banjo.
I want.
DuckTales.
No, I want Rogue Squadron back.
Oh hell yeah! Rogue Squadron has always been on Nintendo. It was exclusive for them.
It's not a Nintendo game.
Yeah, but it was exclusive on them.
They're resurrecting a bunch of those old games. I hope we get more of them. I guess.
Well, wasn't that last Star Wars game that came out basically the next Squadron game. I forget what it was called. Was it called Squadron?
Squadrons.
Yeah.
Squadrons. Yeah.
So that's probably like the
it
future
was,
of that type of game.
I guess, yeah.
More than Nintendo 64 Star Wars game. It like launched with the system. I want it.
There were a couple games. There were Shadows of the Empire.
Shadow of the Empire. Battlefront. Battlefront was the first one, right?
Battlefront was on N64.
No, it's PS.
I mean, there was the fucking pod racing game. There was Rogue Squadron. There was Shadow of the Empire, and there was
the one with
the one where you start in the frozen level and you have to wrap.
Hoth. Yes, like,
yeah. That game was dope. I fucking love that game.
While Mike is still finding his answer, I meant to say, when they made Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I was hoping that what we were gonna see was like a split in the mainline games where they're gonna make like more basic Pokemon games for specifically people who just want a basic experience, or for younger people, and then maybe beef up the mainline games a little bit more, in depth, or have the ability to get deeper with that stuff. But anyways, that's not what happened. So, Mike, anything?
Yeah, I don't know if I have like.
Would you buy a Rob? Would you buy an ROB if they made a new Rob game?
I mean, maybe for the novelty. It's not like I have any real attachment to Rob as a peripheral.
You dock your Switch into Rob's hands, and then you play a game with Rob.
Play a game with Rob, yeah. Like,
yeah, you grab his Joy-Con and you
crank it.
yeah, crank it. Whatever it is Rob does.
What if Soldier Boy and Nintendo collabed on a system or a peripheral?
Probably never gonna happen.
You said
I did say crank it.
So.
I did say crank it. Crank that.
No. And I would as a person who had considered buying Soldier Boy's short-lived consoles and other weird things that he had branded, I would 100% strongly consider throwing money at a Soldier Boy Nintendo collab.
You hear that, Nintendo? We've got at least one person considering it.
It's never gonna happen.
One person. If you want to make business decisions based off of one person's very non-committal response, there you go.
It's not gonna happen.
I will. Soldier Boy would be all for it. So.
I don't know if he would actually. He's a little out there.
He got mad after they like sued him into oblivion for
his
last little venture.
Oh really?
Yep. I'd say I would also love a Wario Land game, because those are very good platformers. Like the best of the Wario Land games, I think, can stand close to some of the best of Mario's 2D platformers. Like, they're very good. They're very good games.
I've never played a Wario. Never played a Wario game.
I think they're all on Game Boy Advance, but they are like real fucking good. The first one might be on Game Boy Color.
Game Boy, yeah, I think one of them was on a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color.
But those are, I mean, I don't think it's rose tinted glasses. I think they are actually good games.
That would actually be dope if we got a 3D Wario and Waluigi game where you played as the two of them.
It's kind of weird to me that they have never just brought Waluigi into the Wario Land platformers, because he was around then. Like, he was in Mario Party and the sports games. Like, he was there.
They're saving him for the final Smash pick. That's what they're doing. They're building it up, and then it's gonna be like the year of Wario, like the year of Luigi. They're gonna have another game come out after he gets launched into Smash, and it's gonna be a whole big deal. I'm telling you.
I fucking hope not. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for them. Like, I'm excited to see Nintendo kind of digging into the roster here, and not just, they're still putting out, hey, we got Pokemon Snap, hey, we got Mario Golf, we're still getting that stuff, but we're also getting some of these other things that, like, I wouldn't have expected them to put out all these games, especially all these games this year, because they're a little bit out there. Like, Famicom Detective Club is that is a very bizarre pull. Like, that's not. I understand that, like, visual novels have seen like a kind of a
Resurgence.
Yeah, I guess, but they're also like visual novels are like gaining popularity, but I would argue that they're still not like big genres that people are going nuts for. Like Doki
Yeah, I
Doki.
bet you. I was gonna say, I bet you that new what's it call it, uh, Ace Attorney. I'm sure people loved it, but I guarantee that didn't sell well.
Yeah, I don't think the Ace Attorney games probably sell crazy well, but they do well enough that Capcom still puts them out and ports them.
I'm actually surprised they abandoned Professor Layton because I played one and I thought it was kind of like whatever. It was so easy, but like I feel like that was a huge franchise for them.
I
Yeah.
think, I believe Level 5, which is the developer, is having some issues. I think they are like struggling with money because I don't think Nintendo owns them. Nintendo just publishes their games. So I don't know. And I think they're having an issue with like not being able to the last thing that I saw, I believe they were having an issue not being able to have the ability to translate their games. So they were anything else they were making, they probably weren't going to sell outside of Japan for right now. But that's a studio that I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't just kind of assumed at this point because Professor Layton. Last time I checked, the Yokai Watch games sell really well in Japan. I don't think they do well outside of Japan.
Yokai Watch is another one that I completely forgot about.
Same. Didn't they try to do it? Didn't they try to release it out here and it didn't do anything?
I don't think
released
it's
two.
Yeah, I don't think it's sold as well as they had hoped. I mean, it's very popular in Japan. Has an anime, like it has toys, has a manga. Like I think it is very popular there. I think they were hoping it was gonna kind of be like Pokemon 2 for them.
Yeah,
when they
tried the
when they
anime
did
here
it
too, right?
Probably Mike would probably know.
I know I saw it advertised. I definitely didn't watch.
I believe there is a third and fourth game. They're just only available in Japan. So will we ever see another one? Maybe. The Switch is doing well, so they might try to revisit it again. But
like your cat is going to town in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's Senor Licky.
Is that Caesar back there?
Yeah.
I wanted to love Yokai Watch, and I liked a lot about it. I hated the battle system because I don't know if
is it the same as Pokemon? Or
no,
like,
no, and I don't know if it's changed in later games, but from what I remember from the first game, it's either like super luck based or it's like it was just not fun. Like the battling was not fun. The characters are great. The art style was amazing. Like it looked gorgeous on the 3DS. Like it was a great thing that I wanted to love so much more. And like it's a little bit darker than Pokemon because it's like yokai are ghosts. So
spirits.
It's like spirits. Yeah. So it's like it's still like geared towards kids, but I enjoyed it. Like it gave me like specific type of anime vibes that like it's for kids, but like also like a little bit extra there, a little bit of seasoning. So I don't know. I would love to see them try to revisit that here. I think with the Switch, it would probably maybe do a little bit better. But have you ever watched the anime, Mike? Is it good?
No, but I don't think I've really watched any of those kind of shows in a very long time. So like I haven't watched the Pokemon anime in a very long time. Didn't watch that. I'm sure there's some other comparable series that I would also say, yeah, I didn't watch.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh! In many moons.
Many moons.
Digimon, Mike?
Is trash.
I'm going to. I dropped the most recent series, but I think I'm going to go back to it at some point. I don't know if it's close to being finished yet this current season, but I like fell off of it and I don't know. I'll pick it back up again.
Anyone got anything else they want to add for Nintendo before we wrap things up? Because we're dropping the last topic.
Think of anything? There's like peripheral stuff that I would enjoy having back. I mean, some of them are not Nintendo
Super
properties.
Scope, baby. Bring the Super Scope back.
It would be interesting.
Guns at home.
It would be interesting to get a renewed Duck Hunt.
I mean, the left Joy-Con has like a infrared thing on the front of the thing, so they could always make a thing. I mean, I think Labo's probably dead. But peripherals are always tough. You know what I mean? Like you plastic. I feel like there's not a lot of peripherals anymore. They kind of have moved away from that. But I mean, I wouldn't hate something like that. I'd probably play with it. Rhythm Heaven. I can't believe I forgot to say Rhythm Heaven. I would love
Rhythm Heaven would be a good one.
a new Rhythm Heaven game.
Yep.
But
Wii Music.
I mean, give me a good Wii Music. Give me Donkey Konga. Just fucking port Donkey Konga back. Maybe put some new music in there because I don't want to play like the ABCs over and over again. But
no, what was the Santana song that was in Donkey Konga? Oye Como Va, right?
Oh, probably, yeah, yeah. Donkey Konga was weird because it had some licensed music, and then it just had like Happy Birthday and like the ABCs and like shit like that.
I don't know how many times I played Oye Como Va because it was like an actual song.
Yeah,
right.
That and fucking Hit 'Em Up Styles were like the two songs I probably played the most. Hey ladies. Wait, did they say hey ladies in that? Why did I just say hey ladies?
Hey ladies.
Oh, they do say. Okay, all right.
Just go back and hit 'em up style.
Anyways, that's going to do it for episode 275 of the Pass Control Podcast. As always, you can find everything we do at passcontroller.io, on Twitter and on Instagram at passcontroller, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can follow us and share us on social media so more people can discover the show. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because that really helps us grow the show and gain new audience and further extend our reach to meeting more wonderful people like you out there. If you have a few bucks kicking around, you want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to passcontroller.threadless.com and getting some sick swag. You can go to patreon.com/passcontroller and becoming a patron, or you can subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you want to keep the conversation up with us in our community, you can do that by joining our Discord. You can follow us on social media. You can find me at BRoom. You can find Mike at _MikeOpath. You can find Todd at Toddy_by_nature. And you can find Dom at PTC One Little Spark. That'll do it for episode 275. Until next time.